what changes or best practices are we seeing being implemented in the design of buildings that could enhance the speed of delivery? And what are we doing to not make it more hard to get these projects done?
How much time do I have? Yeah, so, God, there's so many things. Well, first off, we talked about programming. That's key. You've got to get the programming down. Design build is by far the absolute best delivery method. It has been, and it certainly is for sure post-COVID, as far as bringing project, into completion. So you got to start with the programming, and then if you have the contractor involved early on, that's been, like we've been doing design build for over 30 years, that knows what they're doing, they've got a lot of experience. You're going to weed out a lot of the problems early on. When your architect is using BIM, Revit, and they're doing modeling, working through like the infrastructure, logistics, and MEP, challenges, that's critical. And then, the pre-plan check of the construction documents before the plans are submitted. It's like you have this timeline. You've got, say, the LOI here, and you got the customer, the client moving in over here, and from here, the lawyers and the leasing agents, everybody gets involved. This timeline doesn't stop, doesn't change, and more times than not, the architects and the contractor, they get squeezed. And what happens inadvertently is there's a lot of pressure on the job captain. In our case, we run all the plan check. But say the architect, there's a lot of pressure on whoever the job captain is to get the plans. And we're constantly hearing, are the plans in for plan review? Are the plans in for plan review? So there's like kind of shortcuts there. Again, there's a lot of pressure. You submit the plans, and look, put yourself in we got Andrew Pieri down here. He has a third-party plan review company. Put yourself in his position. I used to say open up the plans, but now, of course, you just open up the screen and look at the plans. If the first page is filled with errors, it's got the wrong amount of drawings, it's got the wrong code here and all that stuff, it kind of sets the tone. And then when you end up inadvertently, and that would be the case here, generating an additional set of plan review comments, your chances of getting, of properly addressing to the plan reviewers, satisfaction, all of the comments are very low. So then, of course, you're going to get a second round of comments. And if you're talking about, jurisdictions like Austin, Texas, or the city of Sacramento, not think about this, not answering one comment can push your project back 2 months. So, you've got to stop and take the time. If it takes another week to really look through, they send these plan reviewers to all these different conferences. It seems like, and all of a sudden, coast to coast, we're getting like, all of a sudden we get a wave of new comments that we haven't seen before. But you got to get those plans tight, and you've got to answer the comments. That cuts a lot of, that can cut months out in your delivery.